All right.
So, yeah. So, this is Twinsanity, and we're gonna do any percent. This is Pete the player, this is Pool, and this is Benza. They're all gonna help me commentating the run.
Benza's off cam.
Yeah.
Oh, Benza's off cam, it's fine.
It's fine.
So we're gonna start the run soon. Everyone's ready? Okay, so 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so this is Crash Twinsanity, game released in 2004, and it's pretty broken. Right off the bat, there's going to be a major skip right here, and
it doesn't look like much, but it'll look really, really much off the bit.
It looks like I'm just rolling some object up the cliff.
Yeah, and just to say, this is really, really, really dumb.
Yeah.
This skip is really dumb.
Yeah.
It's an odd one that wasn't found until like multiple years of speed running, even though you'd think it's a really obvious thing to try somehow.
Yeah.
But it depends on a very specific spot right here between two loading chunks in the game.
And there you go.
So, yeah, so I put the object like in between two chunks, and as soon as you step on it and go through a chunk, the game tries to position Crash on top of that object relative to the next chunk, so you just happen to teleport in a convenient place to skip the entirety of 2 levels.
Yeah, there used to be multiple ways to do this sort of skip, but that's by far the easiest and fastest way. So
yeah, if you blink, you most likely miss the skip, but yeah.
It looks like a really obvious thing to find, but because it's such a precise thing to do, even though you can set it up solely like that, it didn't get found until like multiple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some fancy movement here, and then...
Yeah, I just skipped another level, by the way. That body slam.
Yeah.
So we can easily skip this cutscene by going around, but we need Cortex for some future shenanigans, so we're gonna watch it.
If you rid my land of these pests, I'll give you this power crystal.
There's also probably one of the first routes in like ages that we use Cortex in any person at all. So it's a new addition since last ESA.
Okay, so it should trigger it. Yeah, so yeah.
And that's a nice little glitch that happens. Yeah, so Smartkin's gonna get some safety lives here because a lot of things can go wrong in this run, and he just wants to show off as much as he can.
Yeah, there's a reason why the estimate is 30 minutes.
Yeah, because
highly unstable.
The world record is like 14 minutes, so if everything really goes well, then it's gonna be like half the estimate. Oh yeah, and coming up right here is the Tikimon skip. There's like 8 different ways to do this. This is skipping this boss right here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Also, touching Cortex earlier means that if he death abuses now, he will spawn with him.
Yeah.
Now we can carry him around. He's not supposed to be here, by the way, because after the boss, you're supposed to detach from Cortex. But because we skipped the boss, we still have Cortex around. We can take him to Hub 2.
Yeah. Gotta ride the boat.
Yeah, so this is the first hub complete. First out of 4.
Yeah, that's the first hub of the game, out of 4. So
yeah, the third one we're not even gonna see.
Yeah. I'm pausing here just to make the loads a bit faster.
Oh god, the game feed's gone. Alright.
Okay, now there you go.
That's fine. Hey, here's another skip if you...
Yeah.
It's an invisible trigger that is going to weave around, and
I touched
unfortunately not do that, but you can skip this cutscene by doing this really weird invisible trigger that nobody really found until they went and looked in a program after me whining about it for like 2 years.
Capri found it like years ago.
Oh yeah, well, the trigger itself was found,
Yeah.
but nobody really knew where the actual boundaries were, because the cutscene trigger extends in a super weird fashion, like almost infinite to one side, but not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's worth saying that this game underwent a lot of glitch finding in the last year, was it?
Yeah,
and
basically in the last year we completely broke any percent. Like for Eternity it stayed at like 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
And it just went down to 14 minutes.
Alright, so here's a...
yeah, we're
coming up is one of the biggest skips.
Yeah, in the game. So
which requires... Alright, Benzagram, help me out here.
Yeah. This is hard to explain in words.
So we do it visually by these drawings we shoddily made in like a few minutes.
Yeah, it's the camera. No, it's the wrong angle.
Is it? Wait.
Okay. You can do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wait a
so Smartkin spins Cortex in the tunnel somewhere around here. Wow, this is hard.
Yeah.
So what happens to Cortex is that he gets left behind where the laboratory just previously was, while Crash is walking around here. But they move in the same position despite being in different chunks. So when he throws him here, he flies on the checkpoint up here, and now we've spawned up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's first try too. Oh, I didn't grab cortex. Fuck. Okay.
So that
Wait.
just practically skipped an entire level again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Each hub has like 3 proper levels.
Okay, a bit messed up here by not going properly, but it's fine.
The level skip isn't really the biggest reason to bring Cortex up here.
Yeah.
He's required for the next skip. That's the entire reason we brought him all the way from hub 1 up here. Whenever
Can you
we
actually get out of
this.
this?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
get out.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to definitely use since cortex is stuck down there, but it's fine.
It's a great run.
That's why I got safety lives.
Right, and now coming up is a different skip. Again, what a surprise.
Yeah.
So
It's
from
like a
the
chain of skips,
yeah,
basically.
from the second hub, you can reach either the third or the fourth hub. So there's a sneaky way to just get right into the fourth hub right away without ever seeing the third one.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what we're doing here is trying to clip Cortex into the tunnel so
Yeah.
that we can place him in a very specific position to block ourselves from doing this automated walking through a cutscene. He's going to be in the way and Crash is going to remain stuck in place, allowing the skip to somehow magically work, which I'm assuming Smartkin knows more about.
Alright, so how I placed him correctly is gonna work. So Crash is now stuck, walking into Cortex during this cutscene.
To the infinite dimensions, beyond our universe, somewhere between the 9th and 11th dimensions lies
This
the
cutscene is unfortunately required for
Yeah.
the next hub world warp thing.
But it's fine because you never see this cutscene in 100% run, for instance.
Yeah.
So this is kind of cool.
With me on top. We require 6 power crystals in order to make the leap, and we have
1.
One by
You
the
have
way, yeah.
1.
One crystal.
You don't have 4, you have 1.
That isn't enough! All is lost. Unless...
Unless.
Okay. This isn't like a pretty good position. Bad.
And let's see if you get it.
Yeah. Nah, I didn't get it.
Okay. Yeah, so Smartkin has to try again.
Yeah, it's really precise. There's like a couple frames you can touch it at.
You're supposed to touch this weird hitbox thing that is
Yeah.
invisible, that is also inside Cortex and is about the size of a bump fruit in the game.
Yeah. There are specific inputs I tried to do, but you kind of have to adjust depending on where Cortex lands in the tunnel.
Oh yeah, just to put this in perspective, how this game has changed over time. The last time Twinsanity any percent was at ESA was ESA 2013
Yeah.
by Dylan, aka DRSynj. That was, you know, a very long time ago, and that run took him around an hour and 20-ish minutes, while the world record was like 1:04, and now it's like an hour shorter, so
Yeah.
here we go.
Is the
I don't think we even do, like we used to do 2 levels at least, and now we don't do anything but the final one.
Yeah, we used to do at least Jungle Bungle, and then we would do High Seas, and then we'd do
Yeah.
AA.
And back when Dylan ran the game, he only did like very few level skips.
Yeah.
I think some of the old ones that Samurai Man found, who's actually also somewhere probably here, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
6 power crystals in order to make the leap, and
No,
we have
Samurai Man found like a lot of
Yeah.
old skips, like the first few skips, which then spiraled into Dylan starting to run the game properly, and then finding some more skips. And then I started doing 100%, and then Beta M showed up, and then he broke everything in the game, and he's still doing it.
I didn't get it. That's the reason I got safety lives, because this is like really precise. Can go wrong in very many ways.
So we can still continue the Twinsanity history lesson.
Yeah.
I don't know, is there really that much else to say?
Well, yes, because like these tricks were found, were they this year?
Yeah.
Or last year?
Like
Last
within a
year.
month.
Oh yeah, Nut
just got
Skip
found.
and this thing and the weird warping thing we just did.
Yeah.
Like that was all in this spawn of like a few months, like back to back. And
It
we skipped,
was like 2
practically
months.
everything in the game.
It was like 2 months.
Like we used to
Completely
fight a couple
revamped the
bosses,
entire
and now
game.
there are no bosses to fight except for the final one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who found Nut Skip? I'm not quite sure. right now.
Bandycraft found the Nut Skip.
Yeah. Then G-Pro found the Ice Climb skip. And all I really told, like he says, "Oh man, Pete, you helped me with that." All I told him was like, "Can you not use Cortex and do some weird shit to get up there?" And then he just like does it in like 10 minutes, and that's a "Thank you, Pete." And I'm like, I didn't really say anything, man. So G-Pro found that, and yeah, what else? He found Dimension Skip.
Dimension Skip was like a collaborative error of like basically everyone.
Yeah, it's weird.
I guess
that
I'll
was
drink
really
first,
cool.
why not, yeah.
Like first, G-Pro just did it with cheats.
Yeah, it's just like everyone suddenly contributed after years, even if people have like hardly ever contributed.
Yeah,
everyone who ever like touched the game somehow did something to make all these skips happen, and now this run is
like
really good.
Someone did something.
Well, run is really good.
Yeah.
As we see this cutscene for the 3rd time, and yeah.
I didn't get it.
And it's just not happening for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a reason we have this estimate.
Yeah, because like this skip could go very wrong.
Twinsanity has always been a difficult game to control and predict sometimes even, so yeah. Even though there's hardly any RNG in this game, actually none.
There's ants.
Okay, yeah.
And enemies, yeah. They do make a difference.
Yeah, that's true. But it's minimal, so.
Hey, you can try this trick at home.
Yeah.
It requires some really arcane understanding that it took me like ages to actually get it down there.
This is the Psychotron, gateway to the infinite dimensions beyond our universe, somewhere between
So far I get it on this try.
Oh yeah, someone is that Notaku in the chat says the OST is great. So the OST of this game is completely a cappella.
Yeah.
Which is
no instruments
nice.
used.
Order of things with me on
Pretty creative.
Yeah, made by Spiral Mouth.
6 power crystals in order to make the leap, and we have 4. Let's see. That isn't enough. All is lost unless.
That's a pretty awkward position. I'm getting all the awkward positions possible. It's just, I didn't get it.
God damn it. Are there any like interesting Twinsanity facts?
Black Slang, ooh.
Yay.
He's in the game. Pretty much this entire game's like charm is carried by Lex Lang's voice acting. And it's what made Cortex memorable for most people as a character.
Yeah, which is why he's still playing, yeah.
Yeah,
the voice
Cortex
actor
is the
for
reason we
Cortex.
still run the game.
Yeah, of course. Oh, well, that's a wasted life right there.
You're gonna get it when you're at 0 lives.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call it. Oh yeah, sure. There's a lot of cut content. So the reason why this game is so broken is because the development was rushed immensely.
Oh, it wasn't really rushed. It's because they didn't know what to do with the game.
Well, yeah, because they had like different visions of it.
Yeah.
And they had to like completely restructure all their work, and then kind of slap it all together into this hot mess right here.
And the reason
Yeah.
it's so broken is because it's a hot mess slapped together.
Like they had a lot of cool ideas, but it just didn't. They couldn't come together to like one single thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from this route, we're missing the coolest uncut I guess uncut content because it's still in the game, the hoverboard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's supposed to be out, but it's
it
not.
used to be in any percent because there's an invisible hoverboard
Yeah.
in the game that allows
Yeah.
you to like.
All right, that's actually
Ooh, that's okay.
seems good. Yeah.
The further to the side you are, the
loads
better
of
off
stuff.
you
Yeah.
are.
Actually, you might show it off after the run because
Yeah.
we're like super far ahead of schedule anyway.
Yep, I got it.
There we
Finally.
go.
Hey.
All right, so that's not quite the end of it yet, but.
It's fine, you'll be fine.
So after we get that, you saw Crash Twitch there, that's the indication that we actually got it. So we're gonna come back here, and apparently, for some reason, there's a loading zone to the 4th hub right here.
That means the final hub in the game, by the way.
Yeah, so we teleport. Yeah, now it's it. We actually...
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
doing that entire setup is required to warp
Yeah.
up to the cutscene and actually make it.
Yeah, otherwise you would just warp on the bottom of the lab and you'd be soft locked. So
Yeah, Crash has to be in this sort of weird state where he can trigger a cutscene like this one.
yeah. So there's no Cortex because Cortex is in the previous chunk, so the game uses that Cortex instead. So that's why he's not in the cutscene. But since that Cortex is now deleted, we can spawn the Cortex that's supposed to be in this chunk. We can respawn him back and do another skip, which is going to be a skip to the final level.
Yeah, so he reloads the chunk then.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get Cortex back.
Like, I have to do a lot of mental gymnastics to understand this nonsense, but yeah.
Cortex is also required to climb up this entire laboratory thing and then skip to the final level, because conveniently this game is designed to be like an open world game. Sort of. So they added a lot of backtracking elements, which means if you can skip to them, then you can obviously unbacktrack to the final parts of the game.
Which is what he did with Nutskip, by the way.
Yeah.
Same idea there.
Aw.
And with a lot of things. So far.
Like an old skip in the second hub used to be the mountain skip.
Yeah.
That also uses the same sort of idea there, where you skip to the final level of the second hub.
Smart's doing this version where if you jump up and then time it so that Cortex spawns to you midair, you can jump off of his head in midair, and that's like a quadruple jump effectively.
Oh, Cortex died. Alright, so, yeah. Oh, I have no Cortex, that's nice. I hope the game doesn't crash. That'd be unfortunate.
Wait, do you have to do Rock Slide now?
Yeah, I have to do Rock Slide now.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
I have no Cortex, so...
Yeah, if you want to see the warp skip, just check any run on the
Like, I'm not sure I
leaderboard
can
then.
even jump, because I think if I jump, the game will actually, like, crash. Okay. Good, I just threw Invisible Cortex somewhere.
Yeah, so unfortunately he's gonna have to do a level now.
Yeah, but it's fine, though. It's, like, really short. We're gonna do the old skip instead.
Here you go, entertainment value.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh yeah, there's no Cortex here. What's gonna happen? I have no idea what's happening.
We'll have to see. So the cutscene's glitching out.
I think that's a Heliod over the embark here, yeah.
Yeah, I think nothing's happening, or...
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, there's an ant.
There's an ant. I think the cutscene's stuck.
It might be, because Cortex is not there, so Crash can't, kick him down and
this
do
is
Rock Slide Rumble.
unexpected, so
I mean, fortunately, there are a couple of safety saves
This
here.
has never happened before.
So I'm gonna use another save. So yeah, illegal run now. So we can like come back to Hub 4 instead. We're gonna do the old setup, I guess. So we're gonna go back to Hub 3 in the save, which has gives me the ability to go to Hub 4 instantly.
So the world record finished like 3 minutes ago,
Yeah,
by the way.
yeah, it's already now. This is the reason why the estimate is 30 minutes. Like, if something goes wrong, everything goes wrong.
Yeah, you
And
can
this
imagine
isn't
running
even
this game.
the worst thing. There used to be a skip called Fountain Skip
Yeah.
for the
It's
first
a
hub.
place you haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah, that's the third hub. That's something you should never see.
Yeah.
At least not in this run right here.
This used to be in the old route, so you saw like an end skip
Yeah.
from the remnants of the old route there.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure you can do
Yeah.
that.
Dolaney donated $50. I like Glitch's smiley face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cal,
yeah.
you donated $14.31. Had to donate for my favorite game. Good luck on the run, Smartkin.
Thanks. Sadly, it's not going that well.
Sorry, having good luck.
Too late for that.
Yeah. I mean, at least now I have 96 lives, so...
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh yeah, speaking of luck, Cortex could have messed him up on the dimension skip by doing animations.
Yeah. That is true.
So this is the legit way you're supposed to
Yeah.
get to the final hub.
So instead we're gonna do Hawk Skip, which is with Dimension Skip you cannot skip the cutscene that's coming up, but this route you actually can. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the hug skip, which I found, by the way. Well, originally, accidentally did.
Yeah, so if you do like that way, you have Cortex here. One thing I didn't mention is that the Cortex we grabbed like previously, one where I just failed to do the thing, that Cortex just despawns after some time. But this Cortex we can just have him for some... Oh god, I threw him in the wrong direction. Okay,
Yeah,
that's how it was supposed to be like the first time around. So there's a ball here for some reason. It's not in the previous, like, in like the same chunk, but in the first dimension it's not there, but in the 10th dimension it is. So yeah, this is the shortcut we were supposed to come
Wait,
to.
is it actually the first dimension?
Yeah, this is the 10th dimension.
No, I mean,
In first
the
dimension,
real. I mean, in Crash Bandicoot lore, I mean.
yeah.
Is that the first dimension? I don't think that's
yeah,
ever specified.
I think it's the first dimension. Yeah. So we come here, but we're not gonna go to Antagony yet because game thinks we're Crash plus Cortex in the state, like in that state. And if we die, the game will try to spawn Crash with Cortex. And if Cortex does not exist in the chunk that we are in, the game will just crash because it doesn't know what to do.
So in other words, if you go directly into the final level, the game will crash.
Yeah, the game will
if you
crash.
die, if you die.
Yeah.
So the idea for
pausing, he's like loading chunks, by the way, just
so the idea for world record runs at this point is to just do the final level and don't die. If you die, then the run is over. But there's a marathon safety strat.
Yeah, which is grabbing Cortex from Bandicoot Pursuit and carrying him all the way through Antagony.
But that allows Smartkin to do a similar thing he did in Iceberg Lab.
Yeah.
To do within the final level, so you can skip a little bit of it.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, Cortex doesn't like himself, so he's just gonna, yeah.
And he's gonna do that in the cutscene now.
Oh yeah, you can read it.
Anonymous donated $5. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, you. I've been doing this for 10 stinking years. Back and forward, and I'm sick of it. Well, I'm not gonna do it no more.
That's a line from
that's a good reference.
the game.
Yeah, it's like that cutscene we used to watch for like eternity, until Paul found that you can actually jump on the ropes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, now we're gonna have Cortex around.
Nice. So these Energon spheres, apparently that's what they're called. They unlock these doors, and you can do some funny stuff with those as well.
So we're in the final level.
Hopefully, maybe. I mean, the spheres. So this is the final level. Has a 6 soundtrack. Of course, that's subjective, as someone pointed out earlier in the chat. Yeah, but it's good.
Up for debate soundtrack playing right now.
Yeah. So since I'm carrying Cortex around, I'm gonna def abuse in a couple of checkpoints so he doesn't despawn and the game doesn't crash. So I can always have him around.
You need to periodically def abuse to get Cortex back to you so that the game doesn't crash. Because doing anything in this game makes it either crash or soft lock.
Yeah. At least I don't have to pick up lives on the way. I have so many. Yeah. You do optimal movement instead of going out of my way and get the lives.
Oh yeah, there's a shitty strat to the left on these steel boxes found by Beta M as well.
Yeah, but they don't matter because we always catch the same cycle here.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
I hated that strat.
We'll find that out by timing it, so...
Yeah.
Just a reminder to always time your shit and see if it's actually faster or not.
Yeah, so I'm gonna def abuse here as well because I actually need Cortex here to do the same thing I did in Ice Climb. Get the checkpoint further into the level.
You need those lives.
Oh, nice, he got 2 ends at once. So this end fight is the only RNG part of the run, because ends can be in like any position. I don't know why I tried to grab that life. I don't need it. Oh, I got the freaking...
Oh, you got a ball glitch.
Yeah, I got a ball
so
glitch.
sometimes the ball just sticks around because he likes us a lot or something.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw Cortex.
As explained before with the papers, there's a chunk divider, Cortex is left behind at the chunk forward.
It should be around here, I think. Yeah, checkpoint should be there.
We're trying to hit a checkpoint in the chunk forward.
Yeah, so yeah, now we're here.
Yeah. That's the same idea as Iceberg Lab.
Yeah. We advance Cortex further into the chunk and us.
Essentially, Cortex is in a further part of the level in the same XY coordinates as Crash would be.
Oh yeah, fun fact about this area, like just a little bit back. That's when the long jump was found, and the long jump is a glitch that we didn't even talk about, but Smartkin's using it all the time. He even tried to use it there, but didn't do it.
Yeah.
So if you slide jump, you kind of store the slide speed into your next jump,
Yeah.
if it's off a ledge specifically.
Oh, I missed the platform.
And that allows you to jump really, really far. You can tell it's a long jump if Crash is like not turning in midair.
I need to Cortex teleport back because he's gonna teleport to my position, and that's pretty bad because if he does, he can fall into the death plane, and if Cortex dies, you're just gonna respawn. You're not gonna lose a life, but you still gotta respawn back.
They're bonding in this game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the long jump was also fun by Samurai Man, as far as I know.
Yeah. So yeah, you see a lot. Oh yeah, you can also do controllable slide jump, which is basically sliding off the ledge and then pressing X button allows you to gain control of Crash back in the air.
And these are long jumps.
Yeah.
This is.
They're very tight as well, so pretty difficult
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm gonna definitely use here as well, just to get Cortex back, just in case. So yeah, also these force fields, they're just high enough for us to body slam on top of them.
Yeah, any tricks involving body slams are actually easier on NTSC. There's some weird frame rate stuff going on.
Yeah, like if you change, if you play on Xbox PAL version, you can change the hertz, the amount of hertz the game runs at, so if 50 or 60, and it actually changes the physics of the game.
Yeah, there's a terrible glitch. It's pretty similar to the Jack and Daxter games with the punch glitch, I think they call it.
Yeah,
And there's a slide glitch in this where it just every slide has like a random chance of randomly flinging you into random directions.
It's not really random, it's because you try to like kind of slide, a curl slide, and if you try to do that on NTSC, it actually just sends you the way you put your stick at, so...
Either way, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's
disabled pretty much if you play on 50 Hertz.
Yeah.
But if you play on 60 Hertz, then it's there, so NTSC is worse, and this is PAL.
Oh, actually bounced and missed the Nitro crate roll there, but yeah. Supposed to get it in one ball. So yeah, the receptacle triggers, or like the areas that the ball grabs, are actually pretty big, so you can just throw them like that.
I believe that was found by some Japanese runners. I don't know who. It wasn't Key, was it?
It was Crafus, I think.
Oh, Crafus.
For fun, yeah. So here was supposed to be a treasure room cutscene. I'm just gonna do it safe, and I'm gonna... Yeah.
You can do this jump early, but then you don't really have any good reference point.
You do have somewhat good reference point. So we are heading to the final boss now. Okay, so I got the checkpoint. There's one glitch I want to show you guys real quick because it's pretty good since we have Cortex here. Because the final chunk...
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, the final chunk with the final boss works in a really weird way because it doesn't like having different characters in there. It only likes having Crash in there. So when this chunk loads, Cortex just disappears. And if you spin him, you have a final boss here. That's the final boss of the game. And you have here, you have evil twins. And this is the evil twin of Crash, by the way.
And the evil twins you haven't even seen in the run yet.
Yeah.
They're the main antagonists of
they're
the entire
antagonists.
game. You've briefly
here
seen
they
evil
are.
Crash. Yeah, there they are. So that's the final boss. Is this going to be below estimate? I guess.
Yeah,
so.
it will be below estimate, yeah.
You grab these from the other side.
Yeah.
And also do other wonky stuff with them if you want out of your way to.
Oh yeah, this is Nina Cortex. She's introduced in the game, but we skipped the entirety of Hub 3, so you never see that.
Hub 3 is basically where you get introduced to playing as Cortex and as Nina, but since we never see Hub 3, you never play as them.
You don't really play as them more than once in the game anyway.
Yeah. So the boss has 3 phases. The first phase is playing as Nina and destroying this... I don't know what they even call them.
I don't know, like energy
tanks.
Energon balls.
Energon ball.
Yeah, then you play as Cortex. You have to shoot out the final boss's guns with his gun.
Yeah. And the final phase is going to be played as Mecha Bandicoot, who you also haven't seen.
You never see him in the game until the very final boss, even.
Yeah, because Mecha Bandicoot is the first boss of the game.
Yeah.
Which is skipped in this run. Also skipped in 100% actually. So, yeah.
I'm doing that. Particularly good at aiming. So.
Yeah. So I'm doing a damage abuse threat that do not get pushed by the shockwave that the laser creates, and apparently you can just stand under the gun for like no reason.
Yeah.
And the final phase is Mecha Bandicoot. You just have to shoot rockets when there is a force field
And hope for no shenanigans.
Yeah, hope for no shenanigans, because apparently there's a mecha glitch that can occur. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, sometimes it can like miss-spawn and then you can't shoot properly.
Time.
Time.
Yeah, after that we get credits and the game crashes because we have crashes codex as soon as they end. So, can I show one more thing before? Okay, good.
Yeah. I mean, originally the run was supposed to start now, and now it's already over.
Yeah. So, speaking of hoverboard that we mentioned a bit before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
show
like the most epic glitch in this game.
Yeah, it's like really good.
It's basically a mechanic that they intended to use for a level in, I guess, earlier stages of development, but they didn't delete the mechanic itself.
Yeah, they just decided to like use it in a cutscene in hopes that nobody's gonna grab it
There
anyway.
exists like concept art of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was going to be a hoverboard level.
Yeah, the hoverboard is invisible because it's only supposed to appear in the cutscene, but it's still there. Collision is still there.
So the idea is if you come in contact with it, then something is going to happen.
You can't see it, but it's still there.
Yeah.
Also, these are the edges of the arena, you see.
Yeah.
They got an invisible wall off. There you go.
Oh, nice. Okay,
And
so
that's
this is
it.
the hoverboard, yeah.
So this is the hoverboard. This is what we used to do in any percent as well. So you just do the first level, then backtrack the first level again.
Oh, no. Okay, good.
On the hoverboard.
So the thing with the hoverboard, it always keeps going down, and if you have no ground on the crash, you will just keep going down indefinitely.
Yeah.
And you can actually press R1 to go higher. Like
Yeah,
I'm
it
pressing
controls
right
like
now.
those weird helicopter flash games where you press the button to go up and let go to go down.
Yeah. So this is what we used to do. Just fly backwards through Jungle Bungle. This is the hardest part. Okay, so I'm gonna pause buffer here to load the chunk back, since there's actually no ground to keep us, and the chunk keeps like the loading keeps pushing us down. So no, the other way. There's I was stuck in the invisible wall because there's actually a specific wall they programmed that will just push any object away. And it will not let it to go through a chunk, but the thing is that it's only used in first hub for some reason. they're like, this is like the only hub they use that at. Now I'm gonna get stuck here to let the chunk load. Just chill here.
Are you gonna do 3D model?
Oh yeah, I can do that. So
And now you're basically back where you did not skip right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
this
And
is
you
where
can
we
just-
would be at. And then you just fly around the mountain.
Yeah, and then you're back in this area, and then you
Yeah.
can just fly over Tikimon. It's like one other way of doing it. And then there's like a billion other ways of skipping Tikimon by using some other scenery. So
Unfortunately, even though you can hit the both with this, you can't carry it to other hubs yet.
Yeah.
if you could, then you could do everything even faster and easier.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess.
so now I'm gonna fly back into cavern with the hoverboard. You're not supposed to do that, but you can do that.
This is where the second level in the game is supposed
Yeah.
to be, or the back exit of it.
Okay.
And if he makes it to the end without dying, something interesting happens.
Oh.
Unfortunate.
Oh shit.
Okay. So yeah, I guess this is crashed Twinsanity for you. Really broken game. So yeah, thanks for having me and enjoy the rest of the marathon. Have fun.